This is a video about how to save tomato seeds. I'm Casey, I work at Earthly Delights Farm, and I also work with Snake River Seed Co-op. So here's how you do this. If you want to save seeds off of your tomatoes, you want to first make sure you've started with open pollinated varieties, and that means that they haven't been hybridized. So when you save seeds out of this, you know that the thing that you plant next year will look like the parent. So as long as you have open pollinated varieties, you're good to go on saving seeds from them. Okay, so this is an Ida Gold tomato. This is the earliest maturing tomato in our farm. And so what you do to save seeds off of tomatoes, it's like a three-step process. So the first step is you're gonna cut your tomatoes in half. You're gonna squeeze the seeds and the pulp into a jar, and you can use this fruit later. You can put it in a blender or whatever. This is still good fruit to eat. If you don't want to do this, you don't care about eating the fruit, you can also throw these in a blender and get the same effect, but you won't be able to have fruit left over to eat if you do it that way. So this way will allow you to eat the fruit and save the seeds. So you're going to put all the seeds into a jar, and you're going to label that jar with what it is. Do that. You think you will remember, but you will not remember. And then after you have it in the jar, the next step is called fermentation. That's where you let it sit in the jar. Here's some Ida Golds that I did on Monday. This is Thursday now. So these have been in this jar for 3 days. You can see this has got this scummy, gross looking film on the top. That's fermenting. What that does is it helps to break down that gelatinous sac that's around the seed, and it'll make it so that it can sprout better. And also the other thing it does is it can help kill seed-borne diseases. So this is kind of a sanitary thing. Even though it looks nasty, it's actually a really good practice. So you let them ferment, just open jar, just open to the air, leave them outside because this is stinky. You can imagine what it might smell like. That's what it smells like. And then after you've let it ferment for 3 days or so, it has this white film. The next step is you're gonna do what's called decanting. So you're gonna take this, you're gonna put it into a bigger container, and then you're gonna add water. You're gonna put a lot of water in here. And you're gonna fill this thing up with water. You put tons of water in compared to the volume of seeds and pulp. And then I like to take a spoon and just kind of give this a good stir, so you're really freeing the seeds from any pulp or whatever that they might still be stuck to. And then what happens, it's kind of miraculous, the good seeds are, the mature seeds are heavier and they sink to the bottom, and the immature seeds and the pulp float to the top. And then you can just pour off the immature seeds and pulp till you get down to good seed at the bottom. I know this seems scary. Your first time of doing it, you probably won't do it quite this fast, but this ain't my first rodeo, so I feel a little more comfortable. So now we've got quite a bit of seeds and pulp down there, and I'll just continue to do the same thing over and over until I get just clean seed at the bottom of the jar. So I'll show you one more time the decanting process now that you can kind of see it a little better. You can see the pulp is floating, the seeds are sinking, and if I start to pour that off, I'm getting a lot of that pulp off of there, and a lot of those seeds are staying at the bottom. Just depending on the variety and the day and just exactly how it went in there, you may end up doing this like even 10 or 12 times sometimes to get them all totally clean. But I'll probably do this like 3 or 4 more times. I won't bore you with that. And then after they're totally done, you can just dump them into a strainer. You might take a towel, wipe the bottom off so you start to wick the water away, because now you want them to dry out, and now they've lost that sac that was keeping them from germinating in their warm, wet mom. And then you just put them onto a plate, transfer your label from your jar to your plate, and then, yeah, and that's it. So let them dry out completely before you put them into a jar to store. So that might mean like leave them on that plate for maybe 2 weeks. Every couple days go in and just move them around on the plate so they get really, really good and dry before you put them in a jar to store them for the future.